Hey, welcome back to the channel. Back in the garage today. Actually just drinking. You ever have those moments where it's like you want a beer but you kind of don't because you know you're not going to go riding anymore that day? That's where I'm at right now. I haven't even had a sip yet, but I'm like, should I just hold off or go for a ride and before I have one? But beer always seems to win. Anyways, in the garage because this is one of those episodes of I was today years old. Anyways, let's get into it. Cameron's Pale Ale. It's not an IPA, but it's still pretty good. Anyways, previous video I just did, I was talking about the Ultra and how, excuse me, how I need to get used to the weight of this motorcycle. And one of the things I talked about was the kickstand. And how when I had parked, it started moving forward. I was worried. I had to get my wife off, get back on. I was worried about the bike actually tipping over because it was creeping forward because I was on a slight decline. I'm starting to be okay with not going for a ride. Where the today years old when I found something out. And not that I found out the name, but what it actually does. So, I mentioned kickstand. And to my knowledge, or new knowledge, that is not a kickstand. That is a Jiffy Stand. Now, having owned this bike here for 3 years, I always called it a kickstand. I knew in the owner's manual, they call it a Jiffy Stand. But I always thought that was just, a terminology that an older generation used, that Harley just maintained. That, other people around the world might not get this, but when I was growing up, my grandparents always called it a Chesterfield. Now, what a Chesterfield is a couch, sofa, whatever, but my grandparents always called it a Chesterfield. Now, Chesterfield is an actual term. But I just, it's an older term that we don't use anymore. And I thought that's what a Jiffy Stand was just something that Harley was just clinging on to and still using when everyone else in the world calls it a kickstand. This is actually starting to taste like I might not be riding too early in the morning either tomorrow. So this will bring up another point of something that a new person wouldn't know, a new rider wouldn't know, a new Harley person wouldn't know, because like I said, I've owned that bike for 3 years and I literally just found this out. Like, I posted the video about the kickstand, I think on Tuesday. I had filmed it before I went to Costa Rica, so maybe 2 weeks ago, but it wasn't even until after that, so it was a couple days ago, that I found out that a Jiffy Stand and a kickstand are actually two different things. My daughter's Royal Enfield, that's a kickstand. Softail, Jiffy Stand. Ultra, Jiffy Stand. Now I know what you're thinking, because if you're like me and didn't know the difference, what the hell's the difference? They look the same. They do the same thing. They hold the bike up. You kick them down when you park, and there you go. There's the kickstand, Jiffy Stand, same difference. But no, they're actually different. Now, people who've never ridden a Harley and first time riding it, a lot of times their big concern is the kickstand, but it's a Jiffy Stand. And one of the reasons why is when you're actually leaning the bike over, the Jiffy Stand is like that. So you're thinking, the bike's going to stop there. But watch how much further it goes over. So a lot of people new to Harley find that unnerving that it leans over that far. And the reason it does that is because it activates the Jiffy Stand. The weight of the bike activates the Jiffy Stand. A Jiffy Stand is more for parking for a long period of time, and a kickstand is more for, you know, quick off and on type situation. I know there'll be jokes about, yeah, Harleys are broken and they have to be fixed, or that's why they're going to be parked a long time, but whatever. Now, what I didn't know was with the weight activating it, that actually locks it in there where the Jiffy Stand will not prop back up when the weight is actually on the bike. And to show you what I mean, on my daughter's Royal Enfield, when it's on the kickstand, here, I'm going to see if I can do it with one hand here and not actually drop her bike. It's been dropped one too many times, which one is too many times. But anyways, with the kickstand down, you push it forward, the kickstand is going to flip up. I'm not going to do it because I'm going to drop the bike because I don't have the proper grasp on it. Now, I'll do it on the Softail because it's easier to push because it's a lot lighter. With the Jiffy Stand, with the weight of the bike actually on the Jiffy Stand, I can push this forward, and that's not going to kick up. It's going to slide. The weight of the bike is going to prevent the Jiffy Stand from actually flipping back up. So when I was sitting at the gas station thinking the bike was going to tip over because it was inching forward, and I was seeing that the Jiffy Stand was moving, it wasn't. That's as much as it's going to move, and it's going to stay there. The bike won't move any further, or the Jiffy Stand won't actually flip up. Let's see if I can recreate it. See, I'm pushing as hard as I can. That's not gonna go over. I can't. The thing's a beast. I can't push it any harder than that. I probably could if I was using two hands, but yeah, today years old. Jiffy Stand, kickstand, they're actually different things. I'm a little less worried now parking the bike because I realize that's not going to come over as long as the weight of the bike is on the Jiffy Stand. It's not going to flip up. It's not going to tip over. I feel a lot better. But yeah, I feel so dumb that it's been 3 years of owning a Harley Davidson and I never knew the difference between it. Again, I thought it was just something Harley did to be different, but it is actually a different tool. Jiffy Stand is different than a kickstand. But anyways, until next time, cheers, later.